The following is transcribed.
Welcome to Condensed Bat-Supe. Now with 66% fewer superheroes than our regular podcast, which makes Condensed Bat-Supe even less nutritious, but still just as delicious. We're featuring episodes of the adventures of Superman without the caped crusaders. Tie on your capes for lots of unanswered questions, plenty of armchair detective work, and spiteful distrust galore. In this edition of Condensed Bat-Supe, we continue the story of Vincent's corrupt political machine with Chapter 11, as originally broadcast on June 4th, 1946.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, the easy money that lured Mary Hennig into petty crime has become a dangerous liability, not only to herself, but to Lois Lane, who befriended her, and to Jimmy Olsen as well.
Hello there, gang. This is your pal Dan McCullough. Say, isn't eating a barrel of fun now that fresh fruits are coming into season? Why, you can dress up your breakfast dish of Kellogg's Pep into a hubba-hubba affair, like this week's Pep Dish of the Week, for example. There's a treat that's really in the groove. It's called a black raspberry ringer, and here's how it goes. You pour out your regular serving of Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. On top, around the edge of your bowl, make a wide ring of plump, juicy black raspberries. Add milk and sugar, and that's a black raspberry ringer. Why, it runs rings around anything you ever tasted. Of course, no matter how you dish it up, Kellogg's Pep is an appetite tickler from way back. It's golden toasted and crisp and loaded with sparkling sunshine flavor. You see, Pep is called the Sunshine Cereal, and it tastes so sunny and good that, well, you'll want to polish your bowl clean as a whistle. And a mighty smart idea that is, especially nowadays when the cereal grains are being sent to fellows and girls overseas. So, gang, when Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's, make sure it's not wasted. If you pour your own Pep, pour it carefully and eat up every bit you pour out. That's all, gang, but it's important. Eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
Now, the Adventures of Superman. When the Daily Planet accused Martin Higgens, a candidate for mayor of Metropolis, of being in league with criminals who encourage juvenile delinquency, Higgins sued the paper for $1 million. Now the Planet faces ruin because their evidence against the corrupt politician has been stolen. Clark Kent rightly suspected 15-year-old Mary Hennig, a new employee, as the thief. But while he searched for her, Lois Lane caught the young girl tough red-handed in the Planet office after hours, and in an ensuing fight was knocked out by her. When Jimmy Olsen arrived a short time later to call for Lois, he was attacked by two thugs who had been sent to help Mary and taken with Lois to a shabby tenement building. As we continue, it is the same night, and Kent, worried by Lois's and Jimmy's failure to keep an appointment and unable to locate them, is at the Planet offices with editor Perry White. In the deserted city room, Kent is questioning the night elevator operator. Listen.
Say you brought Miss Lane up here about 8 o'clock, Mike?
That's right, Mr. Kent. And I brought young Jim Olsen up maybe half or three-quarters of an hour later.
You sure you didn't take them down again?
I'm positive. I didn't take anybody down tonight.
But you must have. Miss Lane and Jim aren't here. Just a moment, Chief. Was any other elevator in the building running after 8 o'clock, Mike?
No, sir, just mine. I'm on duty from 7:30 to midnight. Then I go home, and the watchman takes over my car.
Something's crazy, Kent. If Mike's was the only elevator running and Lois and Jim didn't go down in it, how did they leave here? I suppose they could have used the stairs.
No, they couldn't have used the stairs. The stair hall doors are locked at night.
Then how did they get out? Forget that for a minute, Chief. Take a look over here in Lois's office.
Oh, what do you expect to find in Lois's office?
See for yourself. Here, wait till I put the light on. There. Notice anything, Chief?
No. What's there to notice?
The furniture is placed differently.
It is?
Sure. This small chair always stands by the window, and this armchair next to the desk.
So what? Maybe the porter moved the stuff when he was cleaning.
The porter doesn't get to this floor yet.
So what? Then Lois moved the stuff herself. You know how women are. They're always changing things around.
Look, the furniture was in its usual position at 6 o'clock this evening.
and Lois came back after dinner to write a story, not to move furniture. She was in a hurry, too. She was to meet us in Inspector Henderson's office at 9.
What are you driving at, Kent?
Just this, Chief. I think something happened in this office tonight, and someone moved the furniture back afterwards to make it look as if nothing had happened. Only whoever it was didn't move it back to its right place.
Huh?
No, wait a minute, Kent.
Hold it, Chief. I just noticed something else.
Yeah? What?
On the floor here behind the window drape. Look. This is interesting.
What is it?
Looks like a metal paperweight. And heavy, too.
I never saw that on Lois's desk before.
Neither did I. And it would make a pretty weapon, don't you think so?
It sure would. I'd hate to get hit with it.
I think someone did get hit with it tonight.
Now, who would get beamed with a paperweight here?
Lois, maybe? Or Jim?
What? Are you out of your mind?
No, now wait, Chief. Look, Mike.
Yeah?
Did you take anyone other than Miss Lane or Jim Olsen up here tonight?
Let me see now. No.
You see, Kent?
Wait a minute. Come to think of it, I did bring up somebody else.
You did?
It was when I first come on duty.
Who was it, Mike?
A young kid, a girl.
A girl?
Oh, you know who she was?
Her name was on her employee's pass, but I just remember what it was.
Could it be Mary Hennig?
Yeah, that's it. And I didn't take her down, either.
What's she doing up here after hours?
What I think is that Lois came up here and found Mary snooping around. Maybe Mary had somebody else with her.
Oh, forget it. Mike just told us he brought up no one else.
Well, that's nothing. Someone may have come up the fire escape. Someone who works with Mary.
Well, what are you talking about? Works with Mary on what?
Look, Chief, whether you believe it or not, I still think Mary stole those Higgins letters.
Well, if that's true, it would be pretty stupid for her to come back here to the scene of her crime.
Not if she hid them here someplace because she was afraid to try to get out with them earlier today, during all the excitement that followed their disappearance. Well, with no one here to watch her, it would be a cinch to pick them up and take them away.
That must make sense, I suppose. But why are you so dead certain Mary's the thief?
For a number of reasons, all bound up by circumstantial evidence, which I pointed out to you before.
Well, you don't want to hang a person on circumstantial evidence, do you? Particularly when all the things you mentioned may have been nothing more than coincidence.
Coincidence? Oh, now look, it's no coincidence that Al Vincent, a man known to make thieves of kids for his own profit, was tipped off when his place was to be raided. And it's no coincidence that Vincent is Martin Higgens' partner. And that Mary Hennig, who was present when we planned the raid, was also present when you told Jim where to hide the Higgins letters.
Well, I don't know.
And when those letters disappeared a short while later, you could hardly call that a coincidence, could you?
Does seem peculiar, but just the same, confound it, I find it hard to believe that a nice kid like Mary Hennig could be hired to steal from us.
Well, I'll prove it to you before long, Chief.
We'll see. Now, what do you suppose happened to Lois and Jim? I hope you don't think that kid dragged them off someplace.
That's exactly what I do think.
What?
Oh, she didn't do it alone. I'm sure she had help.
But who? Why?
Well, I don't know who exactly. Though I'm sure Higgins and Vincent are behind it. But the reason's fairly obvious. Lois and Jim must have been here when Mary arrived and caught her red-handed. Then, because they knew too much, they were taken away.
Great Scott, if that's true...
Then this is a job for Superman.
No, we can't wait to contact Superman, Kent. We've got to get the police on this immediately. I'll get Henderson on the phone right away.
Okay, Chief. Meanwhile, I'll do some snooping on my own.
No, Kent, wait. You'll get into trouble.
Don't you worry about me. Just hope I'm not too late to keep Lois and Jim out of trouble. This is a good spot to change to Superman. Out of these clothes. And fast. Because something tells me that this is the time for speed. There we are. Now, if only I can find Al Vincent, I'm sure I can find Lois and Jim. Up, and away!
Oh, my head. How do you feel, Miss Lane?
Oh, as though a house had fallen on me, Jim. Where are we?
It's too dark to see. But it feels and smells like a damp cellar.
In the slums somewhere, probably.
Yeah, I guess so. Doesn't matter much, though. We're in a pretty bad spot any way you look at it.
We certainly are. Thanks to that awful Mary Hennig. Oh, when I think of how she fooled me by acting like such a nice, unfortunate kid, I could kick myself.
Oh, you couldn't help it, Miss Lane. She did put on a swell act.
Perfect. The two-timing little brat.
Now, take it easy, Miss Lane. Being mad at Mary isn't going to get us out of this.
Oh, I know. I'm afraid anything may happen now that we're in Al Vincent's hands. But that man's poison, Jim. I don't think he'd stop at anything.
Oh, gee whiz, you don't think he'd really do anything... Well, anything really serious to us, do you?
Well, he didn't hesitate to have Tony Sloan thrown in the river, did he?
Yeah, I know, but...
Now that we know that Mary Hennig stole the Higgins letters for him, it hardly seems logical to expect that he'll just let us walk away from here, does it?
No, I guess not.
Oh, if I could just get my hands on Mary Hennig. When I think of how that little thief pulled the wool over
forget
my
that,
eyes,
Miss
I
Lane.
could just...
Look, right now we got to concentrate on how to get out of here.
It seems impossible, Jim. There's only one door, and that's plenty secure.
That's right, but just the same,
Quiet, Jim.
What's the matter?
Listen.
Sounds like somebody unlocking the door.
Right. But what puzzles me is why whoever it is being so quiet and cautious about it.
It does seem funny, doesn't it?
Stand back, Jim. It's opening.
Jeepers. Look who it is.
Their eyes wide with surprise, Lois Lane and Jim Olsen stare at a figure which, dimly illuminated by the light of a lantern, stands framed in the open doorway. Who is it? We'll know in a moment, so stand by for the exciting climax of today's episode.
Say, gang, when I say that Kellogg's Pep is as terrific a breakfast dish as you'd ever want to taste, I mean it's terrific. Why, who could ask for more tender crispness, more sunny golden toasted flavor? You see, Pep is called the Sunshine Cereal, and it's loaded to the brim with sparkling sunshine flavor. Yes, sir, Kellogg's Pep sure is on the sunbeam when it comes to snappy eating. Looks good in your bowl, all delicate and golden. And does it taste good? Why, it's practically irresistible. And Pep is good for you. Sure, your mom knows that. Gives you solid whole wheat nourishment and more. To sum it all up, gang, Kellogg's Pep is a honey of a treat come breakfast time. You can hardly wait to pitch in and finish off every toasted spoonful in your bowl. And that's the thing to do, you know, because the cereal grains have been picked out to help give good nourishment to fellows and girls overseas. So you certainly don't want to waste cereal. Remember that when Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's. Don't waste it. If you pour your own Pep, pour it carefully and polish off every bit you pour out. Always make sure to eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
Prisoners of Al Vincent in the basement room of an old tenement building in the metropolis slums, Lois Lane and Jim Olsen were discussing their seemingly hopeless predicament when suddenly the door of their prison was softly unlocked and cautiously opened.
Well, jeepers, Miss Lane. Look who it is.
Why, it's Mary Hennig. What do you want now, you lying little...
Please, Miss Lane, don't. I'm sorry, honest, I am.
Oh, I'll bet you are.
I am honest. I couldn't help
Oh,
it.
don't give me that stuff.
It's true, so help me. Vincent made me do it.
You'll have to make up a better story than that to get me to believe you again, Mary.
I'll tell you everything, Miss Lane, but not now. There's no time if you want to get out of here.
What?
Don't talk, just follow me.
Are you kidding?
You don't think we're going to fall for this gag, do you, Mary?
This is no gag.
What
Honest,
do you
I
take
want to...
us for? A couple of dopes?
No, listen. There's not much time.
We're not buying any more of your lies, Mary Hennig. Now get out of here.
Oh, look, you got to listen to me and do like I say.
Now,
you got to trust me. Follow me before Vincent gets a chance to do what he...
Hey, who's that talking down there?
Oh, quick.
Who's that?
Steve. He's one of Vincent's trigger men.
That you down there, Chickie?
Chicky. Yeah, that's me.
Look, Miss Lane, maybe we better follow her.
Okay. You ain't talking. I'll come down and have a look for myself.
good heavens, what can we do?
I don't know. I'm afraid it's too late to do anything. Now.
Trembling fearfully in the dimly lit basement room, Mary Hennig looks wide-eyed toward the shadowed flight of stairs as Lois Lane and Jim Olsen stand by helplessly. What will happen? Was Mary Hennig, a juvenile delinquent, making an honest effort to go straight and escape with our friends from Al Vincent and his crooked politicians who kept her on the road to crime? Or was this just another trap? Tomorrow's episode is a real thriller, so don't miss it. Tune in, same time, same station, and learn what happens to youthful lawbreakers.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at the same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. Say, how about being a pal to your dog like he is to you? Sure, do him a good turn. Treat him to Kellogg's Grow Pup dog food. It beats all how many dogs give Grow Pup the glad eye. It's so full of meaty flavor. And there are 3 different kinds to pick from. There's Grow Pup Ribbon, Grow Pup Meal, and Grow Pup Pellets. You can give your dog the kind he likes best because they all have what it takes to help keep him right on the beam. For lots of muscle, for strong bones and teeth, ask Mother to base your dog's diet on Kellogg's Grow Pup every day. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
And now, faster than a speeding bullet, Condensed Bat-Supe proudly presents Chapter 12 of Al Vincent's Corrupt Political Machine, which was originally broadcast on June 5th, 1946.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen view Mary Hennig's offer to help them with distrust. As terrified and conscience-stricken, the young girl seeks desperately to make amends.
Hello there, gang. This is your pal Dan McCullough. Say, you want to go prospecting for gold tomorrow morning? Well, then, just dig down in your breakfast bowl of Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, and see how your spoon comes up loaded with golden, sunny flavor. Believe me, Pep's as good as gold when it comes to sharpening the edge of your morning appetite. Makes you want to hitch up your chair and settle down to the solid sort of breakfast that helps start your day in high. You know, Kellogg's Pep gives you solid whole wheat nourishment plus. And is this whole wheat flake cereal crisp? Is it tender? And does breakfast get the glad eye when Kellogg's Pep heads the menu? Why, your very first spoonful tastes so terrific, you'll want to keep right on until you've eaten up every flake of Kellogg's Pep in your bowl. After all, nobody wants to waste Pep. So pour it carefully and polish off every bit you pour out. That's particularly important nowadays, you know, because the cereal grains, like the whole wheat and Kellogg's Pep, have been picked out to help give good nourishment to fellows and girls all around the world. Keep that in mind when Mom brings Pep home from the grocer's. Tip off the rest of your family, too. Get the right habit, gang. Eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
Now, the adventures of Superman. Victory over the evil forces behind a wave of juvenile delinquency was snatched from our friends on the Daily Planet by a 15-year-old tough named Mary Hennig, herself a juvenile delinquent trained in crime, who stole certain letters which exposed Martin Higgens, corrupt candidate for mayor, of association with criminal racketeers. Caught red-handed in the Planet office by Lois Lane, Mary lost her head and struck down the girl reporter with a heavy metal object. Then, when Jim Olsen came to look for Lois, he was knocked out by two thugs. And together, Lois and Jimmy were locked up in the cellar of a shabby tenement building owned by Al Vincent, trainer and brains of a band of youthful criminals, and a Higgins henchman. While Superman, worried by their disappearance, searched for his friends, they were visited in their basement prison by the young girl Tuff, who, frightened and conscience-stricken, wanted to help them escape. But before she could convince Jim and Lois of her sincerity, one of Vincent's men called to her from the floor above. As our story continues today, Lois, Jim, and Mary are standing in the darkness of the cellar. Mary is tense with terror. Listen.
That's Steve, one of Vincent's gorillas.
How does he know you're down here?
He doesn't. But if he finds me here, we're all sunk.
Good heavens. What do we do?
Oh, relax, Miss Lane. I think this is just another one of Mary's tricks.
No, this ain't a trick, I swear it ain't.
Now, look, Mary,
You gotta listen to me. You gotta.
Chicky, you down here?
Chicky? Who's that?
That's me.
Holy smoke.
Hey, Chicky.
He's coming closer. We better get ready to do something in case he
Chicky,
gets
you
off.
little rat, if you're down here, you better talk up.
Look, Mary, you got something I can beat him with?
No.
That won't help, Jim. It'll only bring the others.
Listen, I got an idea. Bang on the door, Miss Lane.
What?
Well, what good's that gonna...
Quick, do like I say. Bang hard and holler like you want to get out of here. Go on.
If I find you down here, Chicky,
But I
I'll
don't
beat
too
your
late.
brains.
No, it ain't. Look, I'll pound. You holler.
Hey, what's the matter with you?
Go on, holler, please. Make out like you're locked in, both of you.
You out there. Unlock this door.
Yeah, let us out of here.
Shut up.
Open this door, I say.
You can't get away with this. Open up.
Shut up or I'll come in there and shut you.
Uh-oh.
It looks like this may boomerang, Mary.
Cut it out now. I think maybe it worked good enough.
Hey, what's going on down there, Steve? Not only these reporters is getting kind of restless.
Who's he talking to?
Al Vincent.
Ah.
We gotta find her. Take a look at them two down there, then come on up.
Uh-oh. Here it comes.
They're okay, Al. Just a little mad, that's all. All right, come on up. Quick. Coming right now.
It worked. He's going away.
It was awful close.
Yes. Much too close for comfort. What do we do now?
Got to work fast. You see, Vincent's waiting for a phone call. As soon as he gets it, he's going to take you two for a ride.
Oh, no.
Oh, cut it out, Mary. That's a lot of baloney, and you know it. He wouldn't dare try anything
It's the truth, Jim, so help me.
Yeah? Like the pack of lies you told Miss Lane to get a job on the planet, so you could tip off Al Vincent about Tony Sloan having the letters, huh?
Now, Jim.
I couldn't help it.
Couldn't help it, my eye. Wouldn't have helped if Tony Sloan had been murdered.
I didn't know anything was going to happen to him.
No, huh? It's like you didn't know the Daily Planet was going to be put out of business by $1 million slander suit when you stole those letters.
But this is no time to argue. I tell you, I couldn't help what I'd done. I had to do it.
Applesauce.
That's enough, Jim.
I know I got you into this jam, and now... Well, now I want to help you get out of it. You've got to believe me.
All right, Mary. I will believe you. What can we do?
Now, wait a minute, Miss Lane. How do we know she isn't going to lead us into more trouble?
We've got to trust her, Jim. Certainly we can't be any worse off than we are now, can we?
Well...
Look, I'm taking as much of a chance as you are. Because if I get caught... Well, that's all, brother.
For heaven's sake, let's stop talking and do something.
Okay. Follow me as quiet as you can through this doorway.
I'd still like to stake my chances on Mr. Kent and Inspector Henderson finding us.
Now stop acting like that, Jim.
Shh. Don't make any noise. Come on.
As Jim Olsen and Lois Lane, still unsure of Mary Hennig's honesty, cautiously follow the girl tough through the dark cellar in the hope of escape, Superman in his guise of Clark Kent is looking for them. Certain that their disappearance is tied up with Al Vincent, Kent has been vainly trying to find the crooked pawnbroker's unlisted address. Now, his hat pulled down over his eyes, he is affecting the mannerism of a gangster and has just entered a pool room in the slum district where he questions the proprietor, Earl Lake.
What do you want with Al Vincent?
I gotta see him. Something important just came up, and I got the office to pass it on to Al.
Yeah? From who?
I'm the boss.
Who's the boss?
Hey, what is this? You know who I mean, Marty Higgens.
Yeah. How come Higgins didn't tell you where to find Vincent?
He said I go to the pawn shop, but it's closed. I called back Marty's house, but nobody answers. Now, look, Earl, I just gotta see Vincent. If I don't, and right away, it's gonna be too bad for Marty in the elections. And for you, too. Get that?
For me?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Look, pal, you don't have to play games with me. I know about the string of pool rooms you own, and about the gambling rooms in the back, and about the kids you let in.
Now, wait a minute.
We know you need Marty's protection. Why else would you give him $15,000 to help him get elected mayor?
How'd you know?
Don't give me that routine. I tell you, I'm in the know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And how come you don't know where Vincent lives?
Because I work in Marty's downtown district. I don't have much to do with this district. Tonight, something bad came up, and Marty told me to contact Al Vincent. Now, are you going to stall around all night and maybe ruin Marty's chances for mayor? Or do you tell me where Vincent lives?
Well, I guess I can tell you. Only I gotta be careful, because Vincent don't like certain people to know where he lives.
All right, but I'm not just certain people. Come on, spill, and fast.
Okay. Vincent's place is an old broken-down brownstone at 1619 Hudson Street.
1619 Hudson, eh?
Yeah.
Thanks, pal. That's all I want to know.
Hey, listen. What's your name?
So long.
Hurrying from the pool room, Kent steps into a dark doorway. Quickly, he strips off his business suit, and a moment later stands revealed in the blue and red costume of Superman.
Something tells me there's no time to lose. So straight to 1619 Hudson Street. Up, and away!
Leaping high into the night sky, Superman streaks away toward Al Vincent's hideout, where, at this moment, the lives of Lois Lane and Jim Olsen are more than ever endangered. Will he arrive in time? We'll know more in a moment when we return for the tense climax of today's episode. So stand by.
You know, lots of times, daydreams that start with if don't pay off. Like, if I had $1 million and so forth. But, gang, here's an if that is no daydream. And it sure does pay off in good eating. It goes like this. If you'll have a black raspberry ringer tomorrow morning, you'll have a honey of a breakfast. That's this week's pep dish of the week, you know. Black raspberry ringer. And it's a nifty way to give a new twist to your morning dish of Kellogg's Pep. Try it. First, pour out your regular serving of Pep, the Sunshine cereal. Then, on top, arrange a ring of black raspberries around the edge of your bowl. A neat sight to see and a thriller to taste. Pep's sparkling sunshine flavor sure does rise and shine. And how Pep's crisp tenderness does team up with those juicy berries. How Kellogg's Pep does tease you into finishing off every bit in your bowl. And what a good thing that is, sure, because the cereal grains have been picked out to help give good nourishment to fellows and girls overseas. So, gang, when Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's, make yourself a committee of one to help guard against waste. Handle the package carefully if you pour your own Pep, and eat up every bit you pour out. Always remember, eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
While Superman in his guise of Clark Kent was posing as a gangster to learn the address of Al Vincent's hideout, Lois Lane and Jim Olsen were blindly following Mary Hennig through a dark basement. As we rejoin them now, still not sure the girl tough is to be trusted, they inch quietly across the damp concrete floor in response to her whispered urging.
Come on. Hurry, please.
Where are we going?
To the coal bin. The coal bin? Yeah. There's an iron cover set in a hole in the sidewalk for the coal to be dropped through. If we can open that...
Fat chance.
You got a better idea, Jim?
Oh, no.
Well, then be quiet. It's got to work.
Watch you don't slip on the loose coal here. Okay, hold it. Wait till I light this flashlight. Now, there's the coal hatch up there. You see?
Uh-huh. Like a small manhole.
Yeah, but it's big enough for us to slip through. Now, you boost me up, Jim. I'll open it and get out. Then you can boost Miss Lane and I'll help her.
Nothing doing. I'm not taking any chances of you running out on us.
But I told
you
you...
and Miss Lane together can boost me up. Lock your hands together and make a stirrup.
Now, look here, Jim.
Do like I say, Miss Lane, please.
Oh, well, all right. Come on, Mary, give me your hand.
Okay.
There, now, how's that?
Fine. Steady now. Here I go.
Can you reach it?
Yeah. Have it open in a jiffy.
Hurry, Jim. Yes, hurry. My arms are breaking.
Just another second. Here it comes.
Oh, thank heaven.
Hey, look out.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jim. My hand slipped.
Quiet.
Gosh. Sorry,
Listen,
Jim.
they heard us upstairs. Quick, up on your feet.
Okay.
Are you hurt?
No. Quick, Mary. Let me boost you up. Then you help Miss Lane from up there.
But you said...
Never mind what I said. I've got to trust you now. Here, put your foot in my hands.
Okay.
Two men at the head of the stairs. Lights. They see us.
There you are, Al, in the coal pit. Don't move. Any one of you. Or I'll shoot to kill.
Trapped, Jim Olsen, Lois Lane, and Mary Hennig can do nothing but stand and wait helplessly for Al Vincent and his henchmen, both of whom approach with drawn guns. Will Superman, still unaware of the seriousness of their position, arrive before the enraged gangsters take drastic and final action? We'll know more tomorrow when we see how the Man of Steel matches wits and power with the vicious politicians who seek to rule a great city and prey on its youth. So be sure to tune in tomorrow, same time, same station, for another thrilling episode in this story of a fight against the forces behind juvenile delinquency.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at the same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. Say, if your dog is a softie, here's a little trick you can try to help give him lots of muscle. Mix Kellogg's Grow Pup dog food in with his scraps of meat and fat. See if it doesn't make his eyes brighter, his coat glossy, and see if it doesn't give him lots of oof, so that pretty soon he'll be able to take it, scramble right along with the gang. Lots of champs feed on Grow Pup, so let your dog have his pick of Grow Pup ribbon, Grow Pup meal, or Grow Pup pellets. Just so's Mother remembers, write Kellogg's Grow Pup on her marketing list right now. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
And now it's time for a Condensed Bat-Supe Extra Helping, because Western heroes don't always have to be men. After finishing an unpleasant job, Paladin must enlist the aid of a doctor to save the lives of an abandoned mother and child in this episode of Have Gun, Will Travel, titled No Visitors, which was originally broadcast on December 28th, 1958.
You came to me with a torch and a gun. You call it righteousness. Call it by its right name. Murder.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Come in.
Oh, clean socks, Mr. Paladin.
Hmm?
Clean socks for trip. Very important.
Oh, yes, thank you. Hey, boy, just put them in the bag there.
Yes, sir. Oh, bottle of brandy in bag, too.
It's for the trip. Very important.
Oh, snake bite.
Correct.
Oh, no snakes in Nevada territory this time of year.
Why not?
Too cold. Maybe brandy for other purpose, like drinking?
Maybe.
Or maybe to give lady named Cleo to make warm?
The lady named Cleo has hired me to do a job, that's all.
Oh, sure.
She wants me to find her husband.
Oh, sure.
And she's paying me very well.
Oh, sure.
Hey, boy. You know what you are?
No, what I are?
Auf den Knödel.
Auf den Knödel?
Yes. Now, carry this down to the lobby for me. I'm ready to leave the comforts of the Carlton Hotel and head for the wilds of Nevada.
Auf den Knödel.
Do you see speed laws and other regulations as restrictive, or do you look upon them as protective? When a police officer writes a summons for traffic violations, do you see him as an enemy or a friend? Your life may depend on your attitudes. Statistics clearly indicate that where laws are obeyed, deaths go down. It's no secret that emotional immaturity is the major factor in our accident rate. How else but childish can you describe the notion that breaking a traffic regulation is a way of getting away with something? What could be more infantile than believing one can prove his superiority by ignoring a stoplight? Unfortunately, too many drivers on the road subscribe to that kind of emotional outlook. The result is tragic. Almost 85% of all traffic accidents in America are caused by careless, childish driving. We hope you know our traffic laws and the people who enforce them are there to help save your life.
The lady named Cleo, whom I had traveled over 1,000 miles to help, turned out to be a fat shrew of 50, and her desperate need of me was to find a husband who had understandably tried to blot out his memory of her with drink. By the time I found him, he'd done pretty well. I figured they deserved each other, so I brought him back, memory and all. But I was left in the middle of the Nevada desert, miles from the railroad. I'd been riding for a full day when I heard a strange sound in the desert stillness, or at least a strange sound for that lonesome place. It was a baby's cry. And then I saw the wagon. It sat alone, without horses, forlorn in the sand, no sign of life, except the sound. I dismounted and walked toward the wagon.
Get away from that wagon.
Well, I thought it was deserted.
Move away, mister, while you still can.
Is this all right?
Now get on your horse and ride on.
Are you alone here?
That don't matter.
A woman can't last out here by herself. Where's your man?
Clear out, mister.
What's that you've been digging?
It don't concern you.
Is it a grave? Who's it for?
The baby and me.
Oh, look, I don't know what this is all about, but won't you let me help you?
You can't help us none.
I can try.
You ain't a doctor, are you?
No, I'm not.
Move on, then.
What's wrong with the baby?
Typhoid. Typhoid fever.
Well, maybe I could have...
Hold fast, mister. I'd just as soon shoot you dead as know you got a killing fever from us.
But you just can't stay
Please,
out here
mister.
and...
I ain't got the strength to dig another grave.
Has the doctor seen your baby?
No.
Well, then you can't be sure it's typhoid.
Mr. Mulrooney knows.
Who?
Mulrooney, the wagon master. He knows the symptoms.
And he just cut you loose? Left you out here to die?
He said it was either the baby and me or the whole wagon train.
Are they sending help?
What can they do?
Well, there's a settlement less than a day's ride from here. We'll hitch my horse to the wagon
No.
and head out.
They won't let us in. The wagon train's there by now. They'll know about the typhoid. They'll never let us in, not now.
Look, there's fresh water and food in my saddlebag. Enough to hold you till I get back.
Where are you going?
To get help.
Mister, you don't have to do this.
Let's just say I want to. Pardon me, ma'am.
Yes?
They said at the store I'd find a doctor at this house.
Yes, that's right.
My name is Paladin. I'd like to speak to the doctor, if I may.
You are, Mr. Paladin.
You're the doctor?
Dr. Phyllis Thackeray.
Oh, how do you do?
Didn't they tell you down at the store?
Well, there were some looks.
I guess people out here haven't got used to the idea of a woman doctor. Most of them won't even believe I am a doctor.
Are you?
My diploma's inside, if you'd care to look.
Oh, well, no, I'm not the patient.
Who is then?
A woman and her baby.
What's wrong with them?
The baby might have typhoid fever.
Might have?
Well, I'm not sure.
Where are they?
They're lying in a wagon a day's ride from here.
I see.
It's a long ride.
You'll find my horse in the stable. By the time you have him saddled, I'll be ready to go.
You're quite a woman.
I'm a doctor, Mr. Paladin.
Wait a minute.
Oh. Looks like a delegation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just a minute, you two. I got something to say.
Yes, Mr. Davis?
Mister, you didn't tell us those people had typhoid fever.
No, I didn't. Who did?
I did. My name's Jeremiah Mulrooney.
Well, now, Mulrooney. You don't look like a murderer.
What?
You sentenced that woman and her baby to die when you left them out in the desert.
They're diseased.
You've done nothing to help them?
Look, mister, typhoid's a terrible thing. It's nothing to fool around with. We don't want it here.
He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled forthwith. You've consorted with the disease. The fever is upon you, too.
So, you'd better make tracks, mister.
Wait. Mr. Davis, he's not even sure it is typhoid.
I'm sure. I saw it.
You're not qualified to say.
And who says she is?
Are you going out there with this man, Miss Thackeray?
Well, of course, Mr. Davis. I'm a doctor.
All right, that's up to you, but once you mix with a fever, you're not welcome back here. And don't try bringing those fever patients back here either.
If we have to bring them back, we will.
Look, we got folks to protect, children of our own. We'll shoot you down if we have to keep them safe.
They mean what they say, Mr. Paladin.
So do I. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
I guess perhaps I wasn't used to the idea of a woman doctor myself, especially one as pretty as Phyllis Thackeray. She rode beside me through the desert, all night, without rest, without complaint. Now it was just after sunrise.
Maybe I should have brought something for saddle sores.
You want to rest?
I want to get to that baby.
Yeah. Shouldn't be long now.
Good.
You know, you should be on a velvet settee. wearing a hoop skirt and fluttering your eyelash over a fan.
I tried that. It was too easy.
Is that why you studied medicine? This was hard?
Maybe, something like that.
Wasn't it tough enough practicing back east?
I guess I'm as much missionary as physician. I was the second woman to graduate from my medical school. Others came after me. It was difficult for all of us, but gradually we're becoming accepted as something better than freaks.
You're not accepted yet. You just got run out of town.
Well, maybe I'm not the missionary I think I am. Or the doctor.
Well, we'll see. Here's the wagon up ahead.
I don't see anybody.
Neither do I. Come on. Ooh, now. Ooh. They're in there, all right. Both sleeping.
I hope that's what it is.
Is there anything I can do?
Just help me up there. And cross your fingers.
Doctor, coffee's ready.
Smells good.
The food will be ready in a minute. Here.
Thanks.
How are they?
Well, the mother's suffering from exhaustion, exposure, nerves, no sleep.
The baby? Typhoid?
Well, maybe. I don't know yet.
Mulrooney knows all the symptoms.
So do I. High fever, red spots, delirium, and a coma that leads to the crisis. The baby has all of them. Still, it could be something else. But whatever it is, I can't do much for her in this wilderness.
You want to take them back to town?
Yes.
You know what that means?
Yes.
It's necessary? Medically?
Yes.
I'll hitch the horses to the wagon.
Mr. Paladin.
Hmm?
You don't have to come with me.
I wouldn't miss it. There's something about that Mulrooney's face I didn't like.
All right. Stop that wagon right there. Don't come no farther.
Hooda!
They have guns, Mr. Paladin.
I'm going to try to talk some sense into their heads. Here, hold the reins.
Stand right there. No closer.
Dr. Thackeray has examined the woman and child. The woman has no signs of typhoid.
Her child is diseased.
The doctor isn't sure the baby has typhoid.
I'm sure.
That baby needs treatment. Now, Mr. Davis, you're a sensible man. Are you going to let Mulrooney sentence a woman and child to death?
We'll bring what you need out here. But you ain't bringing them into town.
They'll be completely isolated in the doctor's office.
Paladin, they're sick, and we can't take the chance. We've got to protect us.
They're not as sick as you people. Now, you may be able to keep them out of this settlement, but you'll carry your own sickness with you wherever you go. You'll die again every time you see a baby's smile.
We've got our own kids to think about.
How do your children cry when they're sick? Any different from that baby? Suppose it was your child crying like that. Would you send it to the desert to die? Now listen to me, all of you. I'm driving that wagon to the doctor's office, and don't you try to stop me. If you need a doctor, you know where she'll be.
We won't let you do it, Paladin. We won't let you bring disease and pestilence into our midst.
I'm afraid they'll use those guns, Mr. Paladin.
Get back there with Mrs. Benson. Both of you lie flat.
You going to try it?
Go on, get back.
Come on! Hey! Stop him! Shoot!
Mr. Paladin, are you all right?
Fine. We're through. I'll have you in your office in another minute.
CBS Radio will score another goal on New Year's Day, as most of these same stations bring you our play-by-play broadcasts of the two year-end football classics, the Orange Bowl and Cotton Bowl games. From the Orange Bowl, CBS News sports experts will call the thrills in the Oklahoma-Syracuse contest. Syracuse will be making its second appearance at the Orange Bowl this year with an 8-1 record. Sporting a 9-1 record, Oklahoma will make its fourth appearance. There'll be plenty of excitement at the Cotton Bowl, too, where Texas Christian will be battling it out with the Air Force Academy. The Texans have made it with an 8-2 this year, and the Air Force Academy is the Cinderella team of college football, with 9 wins, no losses, and 1 tie to date. No matter where you go, no matter what else you're doing on New Year's Day, here's CBS Radio's on-the-spot broadcast of the Orange Bowl and Cotton Bowl games.
All through that night, I sat on her porch and kept watch, seeing their torches, hearing the voice of Mulrooney haranguing the townspeople, working them up. But they didn't come. And inside, the doctor worked with her patients. It was after dawn when she came out to me.
Still quiet?
Oh, well. Mulrooney is still working on them like a witch doctor.
There's breakfast inside. You'd better eat something. I'll stand guard for a while.
Thanks. How's Mrs. Benson?
She'll be all right after she gets some rest.
And the baby?
The fever broke last night.
Oh, what does that mean?
It isn't typhoid.
Not typhoid? You sure?
Yes.
Well, how can you be certain? You've only been with her overnight.
You still doubt me, don't you, Mr. Paladin?
The symptoms are there.
Symptoms can be ambiguous. Now get your breakfast. You need it.
All right.
Morning, Mr. Paladin.
Well, Mrs. Benson, it's nice to see you up and around.
I wish I could tell you how much I appreciate.
Oh, no. No gratitude before breakfast. Baby's better, huh?
Yes, much better.
Miss Benson, why does Mulrooney hate you so much?
My husband died early on the trip. After a while, Mulrooney wanted me to marry him. Said it was God's will to care for widows, and he was the chosen messenger. I wouldn't let him near me. Then the baby got
Mr.
sick.
Paladin. Come outside.
What is it?
They're coming. Look.
I'll handle them. Go inside with Mrs. Benson.
No, maybe I can help.
You take care of your patients. You may have some new ones.
I want to stay.
All right, but stand back. That's far enough, Mulrooney.
This torch is the fire of truth and justice, Paladin. It will burn away the seeds that Clara Benson has spread among us. It will scourge the disease from our souls and bodies and purify these homes again.
The only disease is in you, Mulrooney. Mrs. Benson is well, and the baby is out of danger.
Lies! In the very face of judgment.
Mulrooney, I'm giving you 15 seconds to drop that torch and call off those rifles.
The flames of the just will banish this scourge. Let the fires rage in the land of...
You have 10 seconds.
Wait! Listen, all of you. That baby never had typhoid fever.
Don't believe her. I saw the child raging with fever, livid with rash.
That rash was measles! 3-day measles!
You're lying.
3-day measles, Mr. Mulrooney. And you left them to die because of it.
Mrs. Benson, bring the baby out.
No, it's not true. You're trying to humiliate me, to belittle me.
You'll see. All of you. The fever is down. The rash has faded. Her eyes are bright. There, look.
Look at her, Mulrooney. You can kill people with hate, but not with 3-day measles.
Mulrooney, 3-day measles. Stop! Stop it! You can't laugh at me! Stop! Paladin!
Mulrooney, don't be a fool.
I'm going to kill you, Paladin. I'm going to laugh at your grave.
Let me see.
There's no need. I think he's dead.
You shoot very straight.
Mr. Paladin.
What do you want?
Mr. Paladin. Well, I guess we was wrong to listen to him. He seemed to have so much book learning. But he was just setting us against each other. I'm glad we woke up in time.
Next time, you better wake up a little sooner. Dr. Thackeray, this town hasn't been too good for you. Maybe you'd like to come along with me? They can always use a good doctor in San Francisco.
Oh, please, ma'am. I guess we ain't been very friendly, but we'll make it up to you if you'll forgive us and stay.
Well, Dr. Thackeray?
Thanks, Mr. Paladin, for your offer. But there are too many of those velvet settees in San Francisco. I'll stay here where I'm needed.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Paladin.
Good afternoon, hey boy.
You get in late last night. Sleep all day. Now up and feeling fine.
I do indeed.
Oh, you have good time with Lady Cleo?
Lady Cleo?
Lady who sent for you. You know.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I'd forgotten about her.
Oh, sure.
I met a lady who was much more charming. A lady doctor.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I've had a fine case of 3-day measles.
Oh, yeah, the 3-day measles. Oh, sure.
It's true.
You got dirty laundry. You put out tonight.
To coin a phrase, hey boy. Oh, sure.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald and stars John Daner as Paladin with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Don Brinkley and adapted for radio by John Dunkel. Featured in the cast were Virginia Gregg, Vic Perrin, Gene Bates, and Lou Krugman. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
Well, that wraps up this episode of Condensed Bat-Supe, featuring 2 more chapters of Al Vincent's corrupt political machine from The Adventures of Superman. Thank you for listening. Be sure to tell your friends to subscribe to Bat-Supe on their favorite podcatcher. We can also be found on YouTube and Facebook. We'll see you next time for another exciting edition of Condensed Bat-Supe as we bring you more of our current storyline and another fine Bat-Supe extra helping. Until then, up, and
Another 5-minute mystery. Takes place in Green's Gap, a small town in the Southern Cavern District. Rains Gap Hospital, Dr. Melville speaking.
Doctor, there's been an accident out at Echo Cabin.
Accident? What kind of accident?
Two men was exploring, and they got lost last night. One's unconscious. You better come quick before he's dead.
I hope you know how to get out to Echo Cabin, Lem.
Well, Doc, being town constable and ambulance driver, I reckon I know about all there is to know about this country.
Ever been in the cavern, Lem?
Once, Doc Melville, when I was a boy. Nearly got my heart tanned off of my paw. Echo Cavern's a mighty treacherous place.
You mean it's easy to get lost in?
Yeah, not only that, Doc. It's that cavern gas, carbon something.
Carbon dioxide?
Yes, that's it. All of a sudden you run into some of that stuff, and before you know it, bing, you're out.
Still, people seem to go exploring there.
More fools they be. I wouldn't go into them caverns. Leastwise, not without a dog.
A dog? What for?
Well, if a dog keels over, then you know the gas is collecting.
I'm afraid, Mr. Gatty, your friend is dead.
Yeah, poor Patsy. It was from the gas, wasn't it, Doc?
That's what it looks like to me.
Why did you go in that cavern anyway?
Well, Patsy asked me to. He never seen a cave before.
How far did you go in?
Well, it didn't seem very far, but all of a sudden we lost our way.
Where was that?
Well, how do I know whereabouts it was if we was lost? We tried to trace our way back, but it wasn't no use. And Patsy started to get scared. It's kind of funny to see a big guy like that get scared.
Yes, he is rather big, isn't he?
Yeah, 6'4". The mob used to call us Mutton Jeff.
And then what happened?
Well, I was a little scared myself. But we stuck together, walking in the dark with only my flash from the car. And all of a sudden, Patsy keeled over.
From the gas?
Yeah, that's what I figured. His head hit on a rock, and I guess that just about finished him off.
Yeah, I suppose you reckon yourself pretty lucky, mister.
Yeah, sure. I figure it was only 'cause I'm 5'3" that I got out of there alive. And the gas must have been just about a foot over my head.
Yeah? And what do you think of that, Doc Melville?
I think you'd better arrest Mr. Gatty for the murder of his friend, Patsy. What was the flaw in Gatty's story? Do you know it? In a moment, we'll hear from Lem and Dr. Melville. And now, let's see whether you're as observant as Lem and the doctor.
Hey, copper, let me put my hands down. They're tired.
When you're in Green's Gap jail, not before.
I don't get it. It was a good story. I still can't figure how you found out.
Lem tells me they used to take dogs in the cavern because the gas is heavier than air. It collects on the floor. If you really met gas, you would have keeled over first before your pal Patsy.
Well, what do you know? I tell you, nowadays in this murder racket, you need a college education.